start with this. If I could guess what Joe Biden's New Year's resolution is, I bet it's to make it easier for illegals to cross our border and then stay here. And his move late tonight proves that we'd be right. The DOJ is now suing the state of Texas for making illegal immigration a state crime. Starting in March, Texas law enforcement officials would have been able to arrest and jail illegals, and then judges could deport them out of Texas to their home country. But that's unconstitutional, according to the Biden regime. Texas cannot run its own immigration system, they say. And late yesterday, the DOJ asked the Supreme Court to let Border Patrol cut through and remove razor wire that the state of Texas had put up to deter illegals. But KJP says that's not what it actually does.
Governor Abbott's razor wire does not prevent. It does not prevent non-citizens from unlawfully crossing. That's not what it does. If anything, it puts at risk, it puts the lives of the Border Patrol at risk. It puts them in danger.
As an infantryman who's employed quite a bit of razor wire in my life, it definitely prevents and is intended to prevent. And when you put it in, wear gloves. That's helpful. So then why did Border Patrol agent Brandon Judd say this to Laura last night?
There is not a Border Patrol agent out there that wants to cut this razor wire. None of us want to do that.
Of course. Makes sense. Joining us now is Missouri Senator Eric Schmitt. Senator, what is the Biden administration doing here?
Well, they're an open borders administration. I mean, you kind of have to take them at their word now. When they came in on day one, the first thing they did was to reverse all the successful policies that they had under President Trump, right? We had a secure border. We had remain in Mexico, which made Mexico the waiting room for all these asylum claims. 9 out of 10 asylum claims are bogus. But the Biden administration now just releases these folks into the interior of the United States, never to be seen again. Some people are getting court dates 7, 8 years down the road. Title 42, which was a very effective mechanism of turning people away, they got rid of that too. So this comes down to values, right? We believe in America. We believe in the sovereignty of our own border. We believe in American exceptionalism. We believe in the rule of law. They don't believe in those things. The people running the Biden White House right now are unapologetically open borders. It's what they believe. They don't think that they view themselves as global citizens, not really as Americans. And so this is now the consequence. This is 400,000 people came across last month alone. That's the size of Pittsburgh, St. Louis, Kansas City each month. If you add it all up, 8.5 million people since Joe Biden's been president, that's like the 17th largest state in the union. It's total lawlessness. It's a disaster, and they're not really interested in it. They're paying attention to it now because of the polling, but this is what they want, and this is what we've got.
Senator, Democrats are showing us what they want. In fact, one of your colleagues, Senator Chuck Schumer, is making fun of the House trip of over 60 House Republicans that have been to the border today, and says he's more worried about something else. Listen to Chuck Schumer.
To the House, it's very nice you go to the border, but the way to get something done is work, as we are in the Senate, on a bipartisan solution to the border crisis, which will then unlock money for Ukraine, Israel, the Indo-Pacific, and humanitarian aid for the people in Gaza.
So they're worried about Ukraine. I mean, they could care less that Texas is trying to secure its border. Ukraine is the border they really care about.
That's exactly right. And I'm serving in the United States Senate. All roads lead to Ukraine on all of this stuff. I mean, Chuck Schumer is now talking about an omnibus bill on a continuing resolution that has to have Ukraine money in it. They're obsessed with it. They lecture us all the time about the importance and the sovereignty of other countries' borders, but they don't care at all about the sovereignty of our own border. And it's a mess. And so, again, I think this is a different value proposition between Republicans and Democrats. Republicans want to secure the border. The House has moved forward H.R. 2. That is serious legislation. And the Senate is playing, the Senate Democrats are playing footsie with this, all for the, stated goal of just releasing the money for Ukraine. So I think we ought to be very cautious in these negotiations because they're not serious. The Democrats are not serious about securing the border. No. They believe in open borders. That's what they've got. And they're not going to change course, even if there's some, tweak to the law. If you have an executive branch not interested in executing the law, we're at where we're at, and that's not going to change.
Real quick, Senator, would you be willing to shut down the government to secure the border for real?
Yeah, look, this is a serious issue. And I don't think that we should be going along here with these continuing resolutions, which is what they're talking about, if we don't secure our own border. So I've been very clear about this, which, by the way, highlights why we need to have individual appropriation bills. This omnibus stuff, the American people are tired of it. I've advocated for this. These debates should be separate. Israel should be separate from Ukraine. This border stuff, we can isolate these issues and actually deal with it. And the American people then can hold us to account, as opposed to this, come up at the stroke of midnight with something people haven't read and say, you either support this or you want to shut down the government. We have to have a secure border.
It's no way to run a country. Senator, thank you very much for your time.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.